Welcome to another episode of Life with Robbie. Robbie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Good. Would you like to show our viewers your ensemble this morning? Spin?
What?
Thank you. Thank you.
What?
Back with more episodes with Life with Robbie later.
What?
You're right. You're right. We should tell her, shouldn't we? Come on, Lynn. Check your pant leg down there.
July 17th, travel to Denali. Hello, I'm just trying to remind you.
Yeah, right. Over and out. We headed to Denali and we stopped at the southern and northern overlook. It was close, but hey, look, we made it into the 30% club. Where are we?
Denali National Park, where the adventures begin.
Denali National Park covers 6,045,153 acres, or 9,446 square miles. Here's our selfie with the Denali sign.
Here we are at Horseshoe Lake. Look at the rock face. There's some crazy erosion going on.
What verse comes to mind? Sit right here.
If we don't praise the Lord, the rocks will cry out.
There you go. That's a good one.
What about you?
Oh, golly. I can't quote it, but the mountains are his. The cattle on 1,000 hills are his. It all belongs to him.
Do you want some lipstick?
Sure. I learned that today.
He learned that today. He said no. And I said the answer is yes.
Takes you over to the railroad depot,
Here we are.
across the road from the Merino Rail,
Here in Denali Park.
Visitor Center, Alaska Tea Bookstore, and the Becky Stand.
Right?
Quite a big hub of activity here in the area. Visitor Center closes every fall in October for the winter.
Our tour bus driver was gracious enough to stop at any wildlife that we saw. So we stopped here because there were a few bears in the foreground foraging around.
Okay guys, there's 3 more bears up top here. We have top, there's 3 more bears. Three bears up there.
After grabbing his binoculars, he found 3 more bears up on the hill. Got a caribou down in the riverbed. This is when it pays to have an 800mm lens. You'll see my final image of a caribou at the end of the video.
I guess think he knows where to look. Do you see the guy walking, the animal?
Oh my god.
You see it down there?
Genesis 1:11. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. After the tour of Denali Park to mile 43, which is as far as you can go, we came back to the cabin and sat down to some peel and eat shrimp for lunch.
Fresh Alaskan shrimp.
How's your shrimp, honey?
Delicious. Cold.
Nice and cold. I like it
Peeled.
cold. Good and good for you.
So, once again, deciding, do we want to, how early do we want to be at the park tomorrow?
Guess it depends on how good we sleep. What time we go to bed?
Soon. If we decide not to do the ATV thing, would you want to do the sled dog demonstration one
I don't know.
day? That doesn't interest you?
Hey friends, in another episode of Life with Robbie, imagine it's in the middle of the night. We're in the middle of Alaska, and Robbie wakes me up to say she has to go to the bathroom. I say I've already went. So she goes to the bathroom. So here is our cabin, and here is the bathroom. Do you see anything wrong with this picture? It is locked from the outside. So somehow Robbie managed to come to the bathroom in the middle of the night and lock herself in, and here she is to tell the story. Hey darling.
I told him I was coming to the bathroom. Imagine my surprise when I got ready to leave. The nicest porta potty ever, and this
Porta potty?
Well, it's not a porta potty.
It's an outhouse.
Nicest outhouse, and this had somehow swung closed. I think it was in this position, and there's a tiny little crack. First, to be honest, I said, "Oh crap," and then I thought, I'll wait a few minutes. Scott will say, I wonder where Robbie is. I will not panic. I'm not freezing. So I sit on the closed lid and wait. And then I think, Scott hasn't come yet. So I'm looking around to figure out what I could use, because there's this little tiny crack. It's not a straight shot. So what could I use to press on this and get this to move? I finally come up with the hand sanitizer. So I open the bottle, And I have not yet panicked. And I take this thing out. Ugh. And then I stick it through the crack, and I'm making a little bit of progress, but it just kind of, I think it must have been this way, because it just kind of, it was hard to push, because all I can do is get here.
Let me close the door and we'll show them how difficult it was. There's the amount of space she had. Stick your little tool through.
Here's my tool coming through. And I push, and I get it to move just a little. But it's not really moving, so I push from the top. Oh. And it won't really go through there. But I try, and I keep poking. So I sit down a while, and I give up, and I think Scott will come. Don't panic. The low tonight is 49. You will not die of hypothermia. Scott will eventually come.
And how long were you in such position?
20 to 30 minutes.
And what was I doing?
Scott was sleeping. And so I sat here a little while longer, thinking Scott would come. I heard a little rustling, so I said, Scott! But it wasn't him. So I waited a little while longer, and then the cold kind of sets in, because I was wearing my Sleep Beach Repeat pajamas, and that they're sleeveless and shorts. And the low was 49, so I was sitting in an outhouse with all these little ventilation things, you know, kind of keep the smell in. And I think, okay, what can I do? So I try this again, and I push it really hard, and it lands outside the door. I sit down again and think, well, what am I gonna do? So then I try using this, but this was on here like so, and I tried to get that through the door, and that wasn't working. So I sit again, and the cold is getting to me again. So I finally pulled this off, which is now easy to get off, but I had to yank and yank and yank. And I made a little progress in one direction, wasn't working. Made another little progress in another direction, and I finally freed myself. I go inside to tell Scott of my dilemma, and he says, I'm sorry. And he goes right back to sleep. This morning I say, Scott, darling, I was hoping you'd be a little more alarmed that I was locked in the outhouse last night. And he said, how long were you there? I said, longer than 20 minutes. And do you know what he did? He laughed out loud.
End of story.